If you followed along through this mini course, you just built a complete game in Phaser 4. You can move a player, you spawn falling objects, you detect collisions, you track score, and the game ends if the player misses too many objects. That may look simple, but the important part is this. You now understand the core systems that almost every game is built from. Let's quickly look at the core concepts you've learned. You learned how Phaser organizes games using scenes. Scenes control what appears on the screen and manages your game logic. You use the update loop to move objects and run logic every frame. This is the heartbeat of the game. You capture keyboard input so the player can move. Input is how the player communicates with your game. You created objects dynamically during gameplay. This is how games create enemies, items, and obstacles. And you implemented collision detection manually using rectangles. This is important because you now understand the math behind collisions, not just a physics engine. You added score tracking, miss tracking, and game over conditions, and that's what turns mechanics into an actual game. You might notice something. We didn't use Phaser's physics system, and that was intentional. Physics engines are extremely powerful, but they can also hide how things actually work. By doing our collision detection ourselves, you've learned the core idea first. Once you understand the basics, adding physics becomes much easier. Now comes the fun part. Try modifying the game. Here are some ideas. Increasing difficulty. You can make objects fall faster over time, or spawn more objects the longer the player survives. You could add different object types, so some objects could give more points, others could remove points, or even end the game instantly. Add sound effects. Sound makes a huge difference in how a game feels. Try adding sounds when objects are caught or missed. Animations. You could animate the player, or add particle effects when something is collected, and then you can even do things like add a title screen. You could add a transition into the gameplay scene, and that's how many real games structure their flow. If you want to keep learning Phaser, here are some great next topics. Physics systems, tile maps and level design, sprite animations, particle effects, camera movement, and multiple scenes. Those tools let you build much more complex games. The Phaser Docs is a great resource, and on my channel, you can find these topics covered in more detail. There's a variety of playlists for learning Phaser, building complete games, and using the Phaser editor. I recommend checking it out. The most important thing now is to experiment. Don't just copy the tutorials, change things, break things, and add weird ideas. That's how you actually learn game development. Even small games can teach you a lot. If you made it through this course, you now have a solid starting point with Phaser 4. Keep building, keep experimenting, and most importantly, keep making games. Thanks for watching.